Hi, Todd here with Danolyte Global, and I'm talking to Parker Walton from CannaCraft, soon to be Walton Select. We have a name change in the works. If you're familiar with the name Parker Walton or CannaCraft, it's probably because of a RICO lawsuit last year, where this man stepped up and took Jeff Sessions' personal law firm to task in a Denver federal courtroom and beat them, ending the RICO threat to the cannabis industry. Parker, it's great to see you, man.
Yeah, good to see you too, Todd.
So we're talking about Agrowlyte today, and you are the first place that we installed an Agrowlyte machine to do testing. You've had about a year and a half to kind of evaluate the results. We want to talk a little bit about all the different ways you use Agrowlyte in an indoor grow, because this is all new information. You were kind of the original guy to test all of this, and we'd like to know what you found out in the last year.
Absolutely. Well, as any gardener, any indoor cultivator or outdoor cultivator knows, it's very important to keep a clean and healthy environment going for your plants to thrive, especially in the indoor environment, because you're recreating an environment that a lot of these things thrive in 100% of the time. So keeping things sterile, keeping things clean in between cycles is of utmost importance. We've used Agrowlyte pretty much everywhere that you would use any sort of sanitizing or disinfecting agent. It's replaced everything that we would use. We don't have to worry about mixing. PPE equipment is very light. If anything, it's, nothing is necessary. It's non-toxic. It's non-corrosive. It's just a great substance just to clean up anything. We can throw it in a squirt bottle, clean scissors, spray them down, wipe them down, and they're ready to go. So
super. Now you use this in everything from your cloning operations to cleaning out flower rooms to disinfecting equipment and cleaning equipment. Is there any aspect of your operation you really don't use Agrowlyte in?
No, I think there's a place for it in everything from seed to harvest, and even post-harvest. If you're having issues with mold and mildew, it's all great, from beginning to end for any cultivator, in my opinion.
Okay, now you've been running tests on your product. You've been using Agrowlyte on it. Have you found any residuals, any negatives, any drawbacks, anything other than just simply a clean harvest?
No, it dries and it leaves a very mild potassium salt behind. But that potassium salt doesn't hurt anything that you're doing, and it's very, very minor, if anything, and it kind of brushes off and just goes away.
Right.
So we haven't seen any negative effects using it whatsoever.
Okay, so since we installed an Agrowlyte machine and started doing the testing, have you failed a single CFU test? Have you had a single powdery mildew outbreak? Have you had a single mold outbreak?
I'm knock on wood, of course, but no, we've been clean. We've been clean for a good little while. And I equate that down to the Agrowlyte machine really helping us, mostly cleaning in between those cycles. Cleaning those rooms up and being able to count on your product to kill spores on contact is invaluable.
Okay, so basically for growers out there that have an indoor grow of a decent size, there's a real hard value to having this. I mean, powdery mildew outbreaks wipe out entire crops and cause all kinds of problems with getting restarted. Do you see this as being one of the bigger values out there in terms of being able to save crops and keep yourself on time for doing cycles?
Oh, absolutely. Being able to mold, fungus, mildew, all these things are very scary when you're trying to recreate an environment where all these things thrive in already. So you have to make sure that they're not present or they're going to get out of hand. So whether that's during the cycle or your preventatives leading up to that, it's always about preventative. And that's a big part of that is cleaning up with the Agrowlyte in between cycles. But when you get an outbreak, having something that is non-toxic, does not hurt the plants or your environment or your people spraying it, but will kill that mold, that mildew outbreak on contact, that's invaluable.
Super. Any reservations about recommending Agrowlyte to other growers?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
All right, very good. Parker, great to talk to you today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Todd again from Agrowlyte. Thanks for tuning in.